Thanks for joining us once again on the Seven Rivers Racing Show. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Ossie. Joe Rinartz, North Country Contractor Sportsman driver, going to join us here in just a couple of moments. A couple of exciting portions of racing at La Crosse last weekend involved crashes and something that I brought up on my radio show on 580 WKTY Saturday 4 to 5. You want to tune in as I have a very interesting conversation with Jay Herbst. The first piece of audio or video we're going to show you was a crash that occurred between Brent Kirchner and Jay Herbst during the 6-for-6 dash. And the interesting part of the result of this is the luxury it is to race teams to have backup cars. What happened was both of these gentlemen lost their cars during the 6-for-6 dash and had to jump into backup cars. And the conversation, see, there's the smoke I was talking about earlier. Something went down. I'm not sure if Tim Nelson got on the brakes too hard or if something just got spilled on the track and Kirchner just got loose into that. And Jay Herbst, of course, you're coming up towards the wall, you got pinched, and you have no place to go. But the interesting conversation on the radio show this week is, what is it like to tell your backup driver, you're not racing anymore tonight because I need to get in that car for the feature? And Jay had some really good points to bring up when he talked with Skylar Holzhausen. He told Skylar earlier this year, yes, we're going to be teammates, but you're not going to be the points runner because he's going to be doing some Midwest Tour things. And Skylar knew that if the chance happened, he was going to jump into a backup. Same conversation takes place between Brent Kirchner and Troy Rave. And it's just one of those where it's tough. It's a conversation you really don't want to have.
It is true that it is a tough conversation, but it's a backup plan. The drivers that are in those backup cars know it, and they almost feel like it's a luxury. Besides that, when those backup drivers, Troy and Skylar, are out on the track, they do have to be a little bit cautious because they absolutely got to keep that car square for them. So it goes both ways, and it really, they're there to help the main team. They're teammates to help that team.
Well, again, too bad that had to happen, that they had to get in their backup cars. But I know Jay's problems were a little bit lesser than what Brent's were, but I know both are in the shop getting their cars back up and ready for next weekend. Second piece of video we want to show you happened during the Quick Trip NASCAR Late Model feature. I don't think in all the years that I've been to La Crosse, I've ever seen Steve Carlson into a wall. I don't think I've ever seen him wreck.
Backwards into a wall.
To be honest, hard-charging racing right here. Todd Kors, Sean Papp, Steve Carlson, there he goes, boom, under the JEG sign.
And it, like you said earlier, it almost looks like there's something on the track.
So if you look at the way I announced that race, my visual from the announcing tower to the racetrack is so far that I've had people ask me all week long, what do you think happened right there? I don't know, and I'm not even going to speculate until I talk to Steve and I talk to Sean. I've gotten Joe's views of what may have happened, and I got your views of what may have happened, since you're a part of a race team and you do race. Joe, if you see a scenario like that and you see it's so far away, it just shows you how close racing is when you're going three cars that close to each other trying to get a race win.
Yeah, it usually is. Being a driver, I mean, we're always that close. I mean, it's a chance. I mean, I even could try to do it too, and you feel like you got to move to good in the corners to try it, and that's probably what happened. It was just, deal that just happened. I mean, it's not like neither one of them is at fault. It's just you think you both can go at the corner at the same time, and that's what happened.
You just run on the track.
Yeah, exactly, run out of the track.
Joe Rinartz does join us, drives the King Street Kitchen, number 65 North Country Contractor Sportsman. Joe, thanks for coming in. He's one of the drivers that I make sure not to miss. I try to talk to all the drivers in the pits before races every Saturday. Always stop by Joe's. He's always got a funny anecdote or a weird text message to show me or something to do with some of his crew members. But we appreciate you joining us on the program here. First off, how long have you been actually racing? And I think you've done all your racing at La Crosse.
Actually, I've been doing all my racing in La Crosse, but I also did it at the Dells Motor Speedway. We used to race on Wednesday night, and then we'd drive. No, Wednesday was at La Crosse Speedway and Saturday at the Dells. We would take the car, come home, get ready on Wednesday night, go to the La Crosse, and then come home, and then changed it to a transmission to run the Dells, and we'd take off Saturday night down the Dells. I've been running since 16 years old. It's been quite a while. Long time. I don't want to give my how long I've been driving, how old I am.
What keeps you coming back to the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway?
It's actually in my blood, and I can't get out of it. And my family they love it. I mean, my dad, I mean, he's a character. He loves doing it. He's always wanting to do it. My family, my sister, my brother, my crew, they want me out there all the time.
He's always got his pit area is always loaded.
Right, you guys are pitting right next to him,
Yeah,
so I'm sure that's just a circus.
He's got a lot of he's got a lot of family over there, and then after the races, a lot of them come down.
Oh yeah, a lot of them come down. I mean, my son Dusty, he's pretty good at setting up the car. I mean, it's hard when he's not there during the week. Like he's got guards, every other, first of the month. But when he's down there, he gets that car hooked up. And I mean, I got a crew that knows what they're doing.
Right, and then he's one of the guys I like to talk to. I've gotten to know Dusty for the past several years and can joke back and forth. But it's like your team, because you guys do pit side by side. I always want to come down and get the Comedy Central deal going. But when it's time to work, man, I just step back and watch you guys work.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, my guys.
That's a credit to your team.
My guys want to work, and I mean, right now, I mean, they get their mind together. When you come to the track, they goof around until it's time to get, hot lap session. They get their mind down on the situation, and as soon as they do it, we go from there.
I'd also like to add, too, that when something happens to another team in our pit area, his crew is one of the first people to jump in and help get that car back on the track, or fix a tire, or pull a fender out so somebody can get back out. So they're an asset to our area of the pits, too.
And there's if you look at the outlay of the Crosse Speedway, when I go down, I start with Bill Niles. He's on the very end, closest to turn 4. Worked my way down past the Gilsters and Scheck and Humfeld and Rinartz and Losey's, all the way down to Kirchner and Chalet. Well, then you have another row, which is primarily late models, that starts with Willman out of Madison now, driving that Wounded Warrior number 90.
Right.
And then you go past the Paffs and the Carlsons and all the way up into the Thunderstocks. And it's like 3 different sets of families out there, where one row takes care of each other, the other row takes care of each other, the Hornets and Thunderstocks take care of each other. But I've seen it several times over the past couple of years where I've watched somebody wreck and get into the pits, and I've seen Dusty go from your pit all the way across past the hamburger stand to help somebody out on the far side of the track.
Exactly. I mean, that kid is good. I mean, he runs to wherever he wants to go. I mean, he knows most of the drivers, and a lot of drivers like him down there. And he works on a lot of cars down there. And if somebody needs help, he'll go. He's the type of the person that will do it.
Joe Rinartz drives the King Street Kitchen number 65 North Country Contractor Sportsman Saturdays at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. When we come back, Joe has a huge deal he's got this year that he's very proud of. And we've seen it over and over and over. Zoom that car around the 5/8 oval at La Crosse. This is the Seven Rivers Racing Show here in KQEG. Stay with us.